Hi, I'm Harmeet. I'm 24 years old and I work as a campus recruiter with Amazon as of now. My job as a campus recruiter basically involves hiring the right talent for my company within a limited frame of time and a limited market audience. So being a recruiter actually has a lot of work involved, contrary to the myth. And being a recruiter is very multidimensional in nature because you deal with a lot of things that are pretty core to your job. Say for example, you work on branding a project or branding a job. You work on developing the product. How can I get the right applicants for my job? You work on a lot of supply chain management. You figure out where you can get the right people for your job. There's a lot of operations involved, especially in campus recruitment, because you are trying to coordinate with about 60 to 100 campuses in a period of 3 months. And there's also a lot of data management involved because you need to know who's applying to your job and how often they're applying. Go. So I did not know that I wanted to be a recruiter on the very first go. Like you, I was weighing my options when I was in 12th standard. A couple of my friends were writing their SATs and doing their engineering. I had a lot of people pursuing medicine, but I kind of was still weighing my options. Then I joined engineering because I thought that was the right thing for me to do. But when I was doing my engineering, I kind of realized that my strengths lie in another field. So when I was in engineering, I joined this organization called ISEC, and that kind of helped me explore my potential and see where I really belong. So when I was doing ISEC, I did a lot of talent management, a lot of talent acquisition, which is recruiting, and a lot of program management. I handled a couple of projects with ISEC. ISEC also gave me a lot of leadership opportunities where I could interact with a lot of people my age and actually see how a team gets built and how a department works and how it ultimately collaborates to fulfill a bigger goal. So at ISEC I figured that HR was an area I was really passionate about. It was complementing with my strengths, and I figured that I wanted to kind of explore what I could do in those fields. So yes, when I was in engineering second year was when I realized that engineering isn't really working out for me and I really need to create avenues and opportunities for myself where I can explore my potential in HR. ISEC really helped because it gave me the core work to get into HR. Then I was at a stage in my life where I had to figure out where we were in our final year and we had to kind of look for a job or figure out what we wanted to do with our lives. And by that time, the amount of exposure and the amount of thought process ISEC gave me, I was pretty sure that this is what I wanted to do. It is a big decision to take because you're kind of stepping out of your comfort zone, but more often than not, you have to have faith that you're doing the right thing. Once that was established, it was a conscious decision to not look for technical jobs because I wouldn't be able to help the company or myself in any way. After that, it was a conscious decision to start looking for jobs that aligned with, say, learning and development, recruiting, program management in an HR team. I was okay with doing marketing in an HR team also because you get to know what HR is all about, and that was what I was looking for primarily. So I interviewed for a lot of HR jobs and finally I was able to get the role of a recruiter at Amazon, and this was in the campus team. So what I really want you to understand is that at any point of time you can actually make a conscious decision and move towards that goal that you have in mind. While I was at Amazon, I was completely exploring. I still wasn't sure if this was what I wanted to do. And gradually, as in how I got bigger projects, I started understanding how this works. I was pretty sure that I wanted to be in HR. So what are the constraints that we're working with here? One, you may think that what if I don't have a degree that's relevant to HR? Will that be good or bad for me? Initially, no. But what you have to really work on is complementing the degree you have with the current set of curricular activities that you're doing. Say for example, if you really want to get into recruiting, I would suggest you to start taking part in a lot of student body organizations. Start taking part in a lot of forums that encourage the thought process that goes on in the HR field. Start talking to people who are in this field and start actually understanding what this field entails. And then align your career plans in such a way that you could work in this field and then get a higher degree in this field. Think about the resources that you have. Say for example, if you're say an art student, or if you're say a media student and you want to get into HR, try interviewing for companies like the Times of India or newspapers and manage the HR for them. It really helps you give valuable input to them.